What if I told you the mightiest team in the WNBA is on the brink of collapse? The Las Vegas Aces, once the undisputed queens of the court, are now facing a crisis. Free agency has begun, and it's looking grim. Key players are eyeing the exit, and the front office is in shambles. How is Aces MVP A'ja Wilson handling this sudden fall from grace? From championship parades to team implosion, the Aces situation is giving us whiplash. But while Vegas struggles, another team is on the rise. The Indiana Fever are building an impenetrable arc, with Caitlin Clark at the helm and a front office makeover that's turning heads. Could we be witnessing a changing of the guard in the WNBA? Are you ready? Let's go. And recently, they have been in the news for all the wrong reasons. Remember when the Las Vegas Aces were the crown jewel of the WNBA? Those days are fading fast. The once unstoppable dynasty is crumbling, and there's trouble brewing in Sin City. Picture this. The Aces just crashed out of the 2024 playoffs, humiliated by the New York Liberty. Their offense, once a powerhouse, fell apart when it mattered most. We're talking a nearly 7-point drop in their offensive rating. Kelsey Plum and Chelsea Gray, their shooting percentages took a nosedive in the playoffs. It's like they forgot how to play basketball overnight. We have to get better. We have to really take a sharp look at ourselves, look ourselves in the mirror, see our shortcomings, and then, you gotta make the moves necessary, whatever that means, to put the best product that we possibly can. It's not gonna be the same group probably next year. It just won't. And I'm sad about that, because I really like that group. They were a pain in my ass, but I was a pain in their ass too. Now, as the dust settles on their disappointing season, the real drama is unfolding. The Aces ship is taking on water fast, with key personnel jumping overboard left and right. Coach Becky Hammon didn't mince words. This team won't be the same in 2025. Talk about an understatement. The front office, it's a ghost town. General Manager Natalie Williams, gone. Her top assistants, packed up and left. It's a mass exodus and everyone's scrambling for the lifeboat. But here's where it gets juicy. Kelsey Plum, their sharpshooter extraordinaire, is eyeing the exit. Word is she's got the Golden State Valkyries in her sights. The Aces slapped her with the core designation, but that's like trying to stop a flood with a paper towel. Get this. The Aces are offering Plum a supermax contract worth around $250,000 for the 2025 season. But even with all that cash on the table, she's still got one foot out the door. Looks like money can't buy team loyalty after all. What is going on in their locker room? Like, this Aces team is falling apart. This is not a coach that I would want to play for. So how did the mighty Aces fall so far so fast? Could their own success be their downfall? Think about it. Back-to-back championships, a roster full of all-stars, the glitz of Las Vegas. It's enough to make anyone's head swell. But while they were busy basking in their own glory, the rest of the league caught up. Now, the Aces are learning the hard way that pride comes before the fall. The question is, can they turn this ship around? Or is this the end of an era in Sin City? It's almost like their success was the beginning of their downfall. Who knew being on top could lead to such a spectacular tumble? You know what they say about an empty throne? Everyone wants to sit in it. But in the case of the Las Vegas Aces, it's more like a sinking ship with no one at the helm. The front office is looking more like a ghost town, and guess who might be the last one standing? Becky Hammon herself. But can one woman steer this ship through stormy waters? Let's break it down. Free agency has begun, but who's making the decisions? Crickets. Still no GM in sight. Now, let's talk about Becky Hammon. She's eyeing a Cheryl Reeves-style takeover, the whole coach and GM combo meal. It's a power move, sure, but is it too much too soon? Hammon's already hinting at some major shakeups, saying, we have to really take a sharp look at ourselves, see our shortcomings, and then make the moves necessary. Sounds like someone's ready to swab the decks. But here's the twist. While Hammond's potentially gearing up for a one-woman crew, her former assistants are jumping ship. Natalie Nakasi, she's making waves with the Golden State Valkyries as the first Asian American head coach in WNBA history. And then there's Tyler Marsh. Now he's diving into the choppy waters of the Chicago Skies drama. He's gone from smooth sailing in Vegas to navigating a locker room that's more mutiny on the bounty than Dream Team. With tension high, Marsh has his work cut out for him. Chicago, as we just said, has Tyler Marsh as their head coach. He was also an assistant for the Las Vegas Aces, so that's caused a lot of back and forth because they've had two now assistant coaches leave. Natalie Nakase is now the head coach of the Valkyries. Meanwhile, back in Sin City, the Aces are taking on water. There's still no credible replacements to Hammond's top assistants. It's like watching a ship with only the captain left. You know it's headed for an iceberg, but you can't look away. The rest of the league, they're circling like sharks that smell blood in the water. This leadership void isn't just a small leak for the Aces. It's a gaping hole in the hull that could sink their dynasty faster than you can say back-to-back champs. They're trying to bail out their empire with both hands, but it's flooding faster than they can keep up. Will Hammond be able to plug the holes and keep this ship afloat? Or will the Aces' reign end up at the bottom of the sea? We don't have it every year. It's not the way this works. You don't get to flip a switch. It's the beautiful thing about sports, actually. The work and the commitment and the buy-in and the play hard and the want to and the will always show up in the end. Let's talk about Kelsey Plum, the Aces' sharp shooting guard who's been lighting up the scoreboard. Her playoff performance, about as cold as a Vegas winter. In a crucial game against the Liberty, Plum put up a measly 6 points on 2 of 9 shooting. That's a far cry from her regular season average of 17.8 points per game, 4.2 assists, and a sweet 36.8% from beyond the arc. But the drama doesn't stop there. Alicia Clark, the veteran forward who's been a rock for the Aces, is feeling the emotional toll of all this chaos. When assistant coach Tyler Marsh packed his bags for Chicago, Clark needed a day to mourn the loss. This wasn't just about losing a coach. It was about losing a mentor and friend who had been instrumental in the team's success. And what about Tiffany Hayes? The seasoned guard came out of retirement to chase a ring with the Aces. Now she's an unrestricted free agent, and her future with the team is as uncertain as a rookie's playing time. Will she stick around for another shot at glory? Or is it back to retirement? It seemed like A'ja Wilson was diminishing the accomplishments of players like Kelsey Plum and Paige Bueckers in someone who is her teammate. It felt like she was giving Kelsey Plum a backhanded compliment, and a lot of people, Aces fans, WNBA fans, Kelsey Plum fans, across the board really had a problem with this video, and it really left a sour taste in their mouth. Remember Kate Martin, the Aces' bright young prospect? Well, she's now property of the Golden State Valkyries. The expansion draft snatched her up, and she wasted no time packing her bags. Within 48 hours of being drafted, Martin was on a plane to San Francisco, eager to start her new chapter. Moving on to the Las Vegas Aces, another big storyline in this draft was that Kate Martin was drafted to the Golden State Valkyries. But here's what's really got everyone talking. Becky Hammon's not-so-subtle jabs at her own players. She's been calling them out for caring more about their Instagram followers than their free throw percentages. It's like she's trying to coach a team of influencers instead of ballers. So here we are, watching the once mighty Aces scrambling to keep their roster from completely falling apart. It's like they're playing a high-stakes game of musical chairs, and when the music stops, they might find themselves without enough players to field a starting 5. The Aces locker room has gone from championship champagne to sour grapes real quick, and it's anyone's guess how they'll bounce back from this mess. You think the Aces' on-court drama is messy? Buckle up, because their off-court antics make their game day issues look like child's play. This isn't just drama. It's a full-blown Las Vegas spectacle threatening to eclipse their performance. Forget glitz and glamour. The Aces are serving up a different kind of entertainment, and it's not the kind you'd bet on. Let's be real. The Aces aren't just losing games. They're hemorrhaging public goodwill at an alarming rate. It's like they've decided to go for gold in scandal collecting instead of chasing championships. First up, the Dearica Hamby situation. Pregnancy discrimination in 2024. You bet. Hamby's lawsuit against the Aces and the WNBA is no joke. She's claiming mistreatment for daring to start a family. The Aces and WNBA are trying to swat this away, but their defense looks shakier than a rookie's first playoff game. But wait, there's more. Remember Becky Hammon, the coaching savior? Well, she got benched faster than you can say technical foul for some not-so-smart comments about Hamby's pregnancy. The league called it a respect in the workplace violation. Here's where it gets wild. The league's investigating whispers about under-the-table benefits. We're talking potential salary cap violations, improper player perks, the works. If these allegations stick, we could be looking at fines, lost draft picks, or worse. On top of that, the league is investigating the Aces for potential salary cap circumvention. Back in May, the Las Vegas Convention Authority gave each of the players an additional $100,000 to basically be active in the community. Remember when A'ja Wilson's biggest problem was deciding which championship ring to wear? Now she's watching her team's reputation crumble faster than a house of cards in a Vegas windstorm. She's gone from basking in victory to playing damage control, all while trying to keep the team's on-court performance from tanking. Winning might cure a lot, but even a championship parade can't wash away this much drama. The Aces are learning the hard way that what happens in Vegas doesn't always stay in Vegas, especially when you're losing on and off the court. From that heated exchange with a referee during the Aces playoff game against the Storm to courtside tears, Wilson's journey has taken an unexpected turn. Once the golden girl of the WNBA, Wilson's recent behavior has fans and analysts alike wondering if the pressure of a crumbling dynasty is getting to her. Remember when Wilson was all smiles and humble pie after winning MVP? Those days seem like ancient history now. These days, you're more likely to catch her weeping on the sidelines or getting into heated exchanges with refs. Her social media presence has shifted too, with passive-aggressive comments and clapbacks at critics replacing inspirational posts. One fan tweeted, "What happened to our humble MVP?" And Wilson's response, a simple eye roll emoji. But here's the thing, when you're the face of a franchise, every eye roll, every scowl, every frustrated outburst gets magnified. And Wilson's been serving up plenty of those lately. It's not just about her game anymore, it's about her attitude, and frankly it's not a good look. Even within the Aces camp, opinions are split. Some teammates praise her competitive spirit, while others are less than thrilled with her recent on-court outbursts. As one anonymous player put it, "It's like walking on eggshells sometimes. You never know what's going to set her off." Coach Becky Hammon, usually Asia's biggest cheerleader, has been uncharacteristically quiet about her star players' antics, but reading between the lines of her recent comments, there's a clear concern over the team's focus and dynamics. When asked about Wilson's behavior, Hammon simply said, "We're all working on being better versions of ourselves." Here's the reality. Wilson's attitude isn't just a personal issue anymore. It's become a symbol of the Aces' larger problems. As the team faces controversy after controversy, her demeanor seems to be mirroring the franchise's fall from grace. It's like watching a real-time metaphor for the Aces' implosion, played out in eye rolls and technical fouls. You've got to wonder, is this the real Wilson coming out under pressure? Or is she cracking under the weight of trying to hold together a team that's falling apart at the seams? Either way, it's clear that the crown is sitting heavy on her head these days. Caitlin Clark's arrival in Indiana has set the WNBA on fire. This basketball phenom isn't just changing the game, she's rewriting it. The Indiana Fever, once the league's punching bag, are now the team everyone's watching, and it all starts at the top with Kelly Krauskopf, who's back as team president. She's the mastermind behind the Fever's golden era, including their 2012 championship and 13 playoff appearances in 17 seasons. There's something about the way she plays the game, her passing, her shooting, that people really identify with. I really feel like we're poised and we're set up for a great, successful next era of Fever basketball. The Fever didn't stop there. They snagged Amber Cox as GM, a woman with connections that would make a Hollywood agent jealous. And they pulled off the ultimate homecoming by bringing back Stephanie White as head coach. White's not just any coach, she's Indiana basketball royalty, having played for Purdue and the Fever before leading the team to the WNBA Finals in 2015. The future is so bright, and our ultimate goal is to hang another banner in the field house. And our ultimate goal is to come back in here after we win that championship and celebrate again like we did in 2012. Clark's debut season was nothing short of sensational. She shattered 62 records, injected unparalleled energy into the team, and drew league-wide attention. But beyond the stats, her leadership invigorated the Fever's culture. With a rising core that includes standout players like Aaliyah Boston and Lexi Hull, and seasoned guard Kelsey Mitchell leading the charge, the Fever's prospects are glowing. The Fever's commitment to nurturing a strong, supportive environment is paying off. Their approach centers on long-term growth and fostering team chemistry, attracting potential free agents who seek stability and a clear vision. Word within the WNBA is that Indiana's revitalized front office and Clark's magnetic draw are making the Fever a desirable destination for top talent. We are at a point where We have an attractive group. We have a great organization. We can attract a few free agents to come here and bolster, and keep us on the path that we're on. The Fever aren't just collecting talent. They're building a culture focused on teamwork, player development, and a winning mindset. It's like night and day compared to some other teams in the league dealing with drama. The Fever's rebuild isn't just about winning games. It's about changing the entire landscape of the WNBA. They're showing that with the right leadership, the right culture, and a generational talent like Clark, you can turn a franchise around faster than you can say dynasty. Get ready, WNBA. The Fever are coming, and they're bringing the heat. Honestly, it makes me smile in return. Like, for me, I'm just myself. That's what I try to be. I try to just be a great role model for them, and I think it speaks to how I was raised as a kid. It's, I've loved every second of playing sports, but also, my parents always preach there's so much more to life than just sport. The WNBA landscape is shifting dramatically. The once dominant Aces are in free fall, while the Indiana Fever are rising from the ashes. At the center of this turnaround is Caitlin Clark, a game-changer focused on elevating her team. As the Aces learn humility the hard way, the Fever showcase what happens when talent meets smart leadership. This shakeup could redefine the league's power dynamics for years to come. In the WNBA, today's underdogs can become tomorrow's champions.